Hey, we are back for another episode of More Than an Athlete. I am Joseph Ward, and I have the privilege, always, as I'm gonna say it, to be here with the flyest scientist ever. She
Oh
always
my
shake her head
goodness.
when I say it, but the flyest scientist ever, Dr. Latasia Jones. How you doing today?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again.
Right. So, how have you been? The Christmas holidays have passed. How was your holiday?
Well, Kwanzaa is going on,
Oh,
and I
yes.
am super excited because every year I've been trying to get my family more on board with celebrating Kwanzaa and understanding
Yeah,
more about African American heritage and so on. And this year they're fully invested. So
cool.
this has been the greatest year for us celebrating Kwanzaa. I'm super excited about the next principal, the next day,
Right,
and
right.
to see what they have up their sleeves because I assigned each person a different day. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But so how about your holidays? How's everything been?
Well, my family isn't big on overall celebrating the holidays. We just use this time to relax, but we do get together. So we couldn't physically get together, but we did a Zoom on Christmas with my dad and my little brothers. So we got a
Nice.
chance to catch up there. And I do Kwanzaa myself. So
Mhm.
every year I'm all about my Kwanzaa. I make sure I share messages through my historical platform and just doing my thing here at the house. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So, but I'm
Yes,
glad you had a good holiday.
absolutely. You too. And I'm glad that you're able to utilize virtual platforms to keep togetherness within your family. That's big right
Right,
now.
right,
So,
right. I'm glad I'm tech savvy.
right. And it keeps us safe, right? The virus going on.
Yes.
You want to stay in touch with each other, but we don't want to risk each
Yeah.
other's lives
Well, yeah.
and our
See,
health.
both of my parents are like what 64, 65 and up.
Mm,
So yeah, that's a no go for actually being face to face.
right. Completely
Yeah.
understandable.
Right.
Completely understandable.
Right. Well, we got a good one today. You
Yes.
ready? You ready for this one? You
I'm not even ready.
ready? So I met this young lady, I want to say between 2009 to and 2011. That's when I met her. I started being able to do classes at Crossroads Academy when I was working at the health department. So they Crossroad Academy, shout out to Mr. Forehand, Mr. Kevin Forehand for allowing me to come out and do my classes, my safe sex classes. And I was assigned to the PE class. And one of the teachers of the PE class was Miss Ericka Cromartie. And I do want to give a shout out to Mr. Roy Howard and Mr. Dante Guinea. They were also coaches out there as well. So
Nice.
um, Erica's relationship with the kids is something that caught my attention. And then I remember her from playing basketball at FAMU High here in Tallahassee. So but seeing her as a teacher was different. And so I also found out she was coaching the girls basketball team. And then I learned like the girls basketball team was good. Like they wasn't really losing games at all. They were
Right.
very good. And the boys team was very good too. So come around 2014, 2015, she got the job at FAMU High. And it was interesting because the FAMU High School girls basketball coaching job opened up. And
Mhm.
it was like it was a consensus. Ericka Cromartie. So she got the job and out the gate, first 2 years, state champions.
Nice. Nice. That's a nice way to start, right?
Right, right. So state champions, I think of the her first 4 years, three championships, three Coach of the Year awards.
Nice.
Um, she's helped countless number of girls go to college. She has one player who's made it to the WNBA. Her
Wow.
impact on Crossroads Academy is felt. Her impact on FAMU High is felt. Her impact on the Tallahassee community at large is felt. She's beloved in our community, and all of the love she get is deserved. So I want to welcome the incredible, and don't you forget that word, the incredible Miss
Welcome.
Ericka Cromartie. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me. I like the introduction. That was really nice.
Uh, Look, you laid a great path. You did
Right.
great things, and I got a chance to witness it. And it's not, a lot of times people get to hear about um, great people doing great things, but I got to witness it. So I'm just grateful for that because you really did a great job at Crossroads and you're doing a great job at FAMU High.
Thank you, thank you. And thank you for, I always say thank you for even being out there to help us when you started out there too. So you in the story as well.
Hey, I'm happy about that as well.
Yeah.
I love this. Every time we invite someone, I learn more about Joseph as we go. So not only do I get to meet you incredible individuals who are more than athletes, but I'm getting more of the inside scoop when it comes to Ward over there.
I gotta do a better job telling my story. I don't do it often, but you get the snippets.
It happens when you have many pieces. Like we were just talking about your intro, you did all those things. So you basically built your own intro. It wasn't Joseph just reiterated what you did. He said it verbally, but you initiated, you executed, and you created ways. So that's all for you.
Yeah. All glory be to God. I mean, just for the opportunity to continue to do what I'm doing, even through this pandemic. I mean, just all God, honestly.
Right. So, Latasia, you got the first question.
We're going to dive into that because I definitely want to hear about the things that you're doing, especially during this virus. But let's start off with learning a little bit about you. For those who don't know you or haven't researched you, I researched you a little bit and then Joseph gave me some inside background scoop. But for those who have no idea who you are, let us know who you are as an athlete and what makes you more than an athlete.
Well, I started playing and just being around basketball at a very, very young age. And it kind of propelled me to want to coach it after I finished, my college days were over. And I started off playing YMCA back in the day. And then I started playing at FAMU DRS in middle school. Well, actually, 5th grade, we started playing varsity because the school was K through 12. And then after that, just started playing varsity, getting experience. And then I ended up getting a basketball scholarship to Miles College in Birmingham. Played there for 4 years, received honors there. And then after I graduated, it was either, do you want to go overseas and play or do you want to come back home? And at that time, personally, I was done with basketball for myself. At that time, I wanted to kind of find another career and just kind of just see the world. So I ended up coming back home and I went to Florida State University majoring in sport management. And then after that, I started teaching at Crossroad Academy for about 4 years. And I started coaching the middle school girls team. And Joe, to kind of go back to your story, at first, we were not that good.
Okay.
But after a while, you know, we got better. Kids started buying into what we was trying to do. And then towards the end, we got a lot better. And then after that, the job at FAMU High came open. That's the school I attended, of course. And I applied for it. Actually, I went there first to teach. I didn't coach as soon as I got there. And then I started teaching once I got, after like 2-3 years after I got there, the job came open. And I went for it. And we just took off. My first year, we won state. My second year, we won state. And my third year, we won state. It was a three-peat, 16, 17, 18. And I'm sorry, 15, 16, 17. And then 18, 19, and 20, we still made it to the Final Four. So every year I've coached, we've been to the state final. So that's a blessing within itself. And then it's not just the winning. Of course, you want to win, don't get me wrong. But it's not just the winning, it's the impact you have on young girls. You know, I have some that are mothers now, you know, graduates, like you said, WNBA players, just to see them flourish and see how they left the nest, so to speak, is a blessing within itself. And I'm just happy to still be doing what I'm doing. I think my method is still the same, but as you get older, the way you go about doing it is a little different, if that makes any sense. Because I guess you learn more as you go. The kids are learning, and believe it or not, I'm learning as well. So it's a blessing. It's a little tough doing this pandemic, but we're trying to make it do what it do and just taking it one day at a time.
Cool. So I want to kind of go back because you said something that I don't know how I missed this before. You probably just said it different this time, but you know, whenever you talk to somebody, you pick up something different. But you said you chose to you were done with basketball. You didn't go overseas.
Right.
Why did you make that decision, or how did you come to that decision that you're done with the basketball, you don't want to go overseas, and you want to pursue other things?
Honestly, Joe, and be honest with you, I think, sometimes you can do it too long.
Okay.
I started in what I was probably about 8. So imagine from 8 to graduate, I was like 21 maybe. That's a long time for that to be kind of like your life. And then when I got to college, that was a job. That's how I was able to go to school. So, a lot of things changed. And by that time, I just kind of, I felt playing wise, it took me as far as I was going to go. But right now, basketball is still is still providing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think the blessing was still there. It was just shifted in how I used it.
Okay.
So then, in reference to that transition, was it smooth for you, or were you just like, you just picked up easily and was like, okay, I was on the court, but now I'm doing this other thing over here? Was it easy?
I actually took a break. I took a break from coaching, I think, because when I came back to Tallahassee, I think I was just in school. So it was just like, let's kind of find your way. And then my a coach from Family High, Coach Hicks, he was coaching at Leon, and he asked me to come help him out. And I appreciate him for that, because he didn't require that much of me, if that make any sense. He just wanted me to be kind of a part of it to see. And I think that time just showed me either you're going to do this or you're not.
Right.
And I think that's what kind of took me over the edge to say, this is what I want to do.
Okay. That's nice. It provides like that shadow type feel, where you're shadowing what your future could be without having to like sign up for courses and pay tuition and so on. You're literally in it. So you can see whether or not it's for you right then and there. That's nice. I think that's the best experience, the best learning.
Right.
That's it, because you can jump off the porch too fast.
Right. Okay, so I got another off the beaten path question.
Okay.
So within your transition, I'm interested in like your mentality, because you're coming from, like you say, playing basketball from the age of 8 to like 21, 22, and you don't want to play anymore, but you're used to seeing yourself as a basketball player. So mentally, was it difficult to start to see yourself as more than an athlete, or was that like an easy transition for you?
That's a good question. Honestly, I just felt like next chapter, let's see what's next. But I'm happy you brought that up, because that is hard for some athletes, because it's like, I'm so used to the glory. I'm so used to the fame. I'm so used to the attention. So when you don't have that, it's like, what do you have next? So that's why I try to tell my girls, like, I want you to work hard. I want you to do what I ask you to do. But at the end of the day, if this does not work, you got to be somebody besides just a basketball player.
Right.
And I was just telling my sister that, with this pandemic, a lot of people are not strong enough to, to kind of like get through it. You got artists and stars that's not used to not being on the scene. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not comfortable within yourself, regardless of what you do, you'll be in some trouble.
Right.
That is very true. Very true. So I guess for anybody and everybody that's out there, because you're essentially talking to me about finding yourself beyond the sport, right? So for anybody and everybody that's out there, because you could be doing this in many different realms. You just brought up artists and so on during this pandemic, and how some of them are suffering through those things. What advice would you give those individuals who are trying to find themselves past what they're used to, the norm in their life, whether it's being an athlete or whatever else their background is? What wisdom could you, provide based on your own experience?
I think more so I was grounded with people that knew me as just Ericka. To them, I was not, this basketball player. Even now, like, very few people call me coach. Like, sometimes I don't even like to be called coach outside of the court. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it might be just that thing with me, but you got to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Not just what you can bring. Even if you never hit another football, caught another football, you still have to be comfortable within yourself. And I always believe that, if that venue changed, God got something else for you. He's not going to just say, oh, that's all you are. It's a lot of facets to people. So you got to understand that, it's just not one way to channel your energy or to get things done, honestly.
Right.
I think it starts within yourself, though. It starts within yourself.
Absolutely. And I think that's amazing and perfect timing. We were just talking about Kwanzaa and Nia, one of the principles of Kwanzaa is purpose. And
Mm-hmm.
I think if anybody is listening and they had any difficulties with that particular principle, please listen to the wisdom that we just took from Ericka right now. Like that
Right.
is something big that even though some part of your journey has halted or stopped for a second, that may not be it for you. Just be patient.
Right.
Be patient and keep your grind going, because look at you now. You're like doing all these other multiple things in your community. What if you would have said, nope, I'm just an athlete?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Been blocking your blessing.
Right.
I talk to my nephew from time to time. He's, still trying to pursue football. And I told him, I said, that's all well and good. But and I'm with you 100%. I'm gonna support you. If I gotta do anything, I will. But if that does not work, that can't be all of you.
Right.
You have to have something else.
Right. Right. So, see, this conversation good. So the question just popping up in my head because it makes me think about self-esteem.
Okay.
So, as a woman who's an athlete, a Black woman in America who's an athlete, and you were an athlete for such a long time. You're not an athlete. How big or how much of an impact does your self-esteem play in helping you to be able to successfully transition out of the world of athletics and being able to fully see yourself and be comfortable with yourself outside of athletics?
You mean just out of coaching, out of athletics, period?
Just like you're not an active player. Like you still can be in the realm, but you're not an active player. Like you said, with the bright lights on you. That's what made me think about it. You're talking about you're used to the bright lights, you're used to the praise, you're used to all these things. This is not happening no more.
Right.
How does your self-esteem play a part in you being able to be successful after that?
Kind of what I said before, you have to surround yourself with like-minded people, and then honestly, believe it or not, if something did happen to that person, they'll realize who the friends were or what they were there with or what they were there for. Because when the money start rolling in, when the fame start coming in, you have some that's going to be like, you know what, we out, Then you have some that say, but that wasn't you anyway, that just came along with you, so that'll weed out your day ones, like, so to speak. They'll weed out those. And like I just said, you just have to have self-esteem within yourself. You just have to know that this is not who I am. Like I tell my family, my friends, like, they don't call me Coach Ericka. Somebody I don't know might call me coach, but for the end of the day, I'm Ericka from Midway, Florida, that went to FAMU High School, that went to Miles College, and is back home. That's it. I just happen to be a coach.
There you go.
Right. I mean, I think that takes a lot more than, of course, the title of the special is more than an athlete.
Yeah.
But it takes more than just playing on the court. Those are things that you have to understand beyond the court. And a lot of the skills you do get from playing the actual sport, whatever sport it is. And I just appreciate the fact that you were able to utilize it within a broader sense, not just on the court. So it's nice to hear those transitioning skill sets that you picked up, and confidence and surrounding yourself by the right people. Because essentially it makes me question, what is the true definition of an athlete?
Yeah, that is a good question. I mean, because sports teaches you so much about life. I mean, man, like I think my work ethic is from basketball. Because man, it was times because you train so much.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just like, you go through so much to stay in shape, to make sure you can shoot, make sure you can dribble. I mean, it's just so much that comes with it. So I think mentally, when you're done playing, you still have that same mindset. Like, I gotta get it. Like, I gotta be better than you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just it carries over to your everyday life. Now you have some people that after they play sports, they just lazy, just don't do anything. But I think that's just how you were when you was an athlete as well.
Right.
But I mean, just being an athlete, it just makes you compete and just do all that you have to do. You learn about defeat, you learn about being able to handle success. I mean, it's a lot that comes with sports.
Yeah.
So with that, I have a two-part question, I guess. One question
Okay.
and one that
I love this dialogue, so I'm here for it.
Cool.
When we talk about, players that made it on a national level and so on, but we never really provide the full narrative of the person who prepared that player before they were even at that, in that level of life or playing on that level. So how did you feel? First question. I just want emotional feel. What was your first feeling when you realized you were able to get one of your players to the WNBA? Like, you prepared her and got her ready for that.
Let me tell you, when I was watching the draft, and when they said her name, I literally ran out the house and I ran into the, I think I told her the story too. And I ran outside and I was like, she got drafted. Like, I was going in. But I will say this, it wasn't just me that helped her get to where she was. I was just playing a part of her life. That was our destiny for her to have. I just helped her reach her goal. And to be a part of that, I mean, it's phenomenal, because I can just say, wow, I was a part of your success. And then you never know, like, how that carries over to the girls we have now, the girls in this community, the girls in this community, you know what I mean? So I'm just blessed to say I was a part of her process, and she's a phenomenal player, and a phenomenal person as well.
Nice. And then I guess your part two would be, what's your coaching method? Like, how do you prepare your players, especially with all your success, 3-time state championship and so on? Like, what are you telling your players about life on and off the court that prepares them?
You know what? That varies for some reason. Well, I ain't gonna say for some reason. I know why. It varies from person to person. I'm saying the same thing, but I might say to you a little different than I told the last girl, because I know if I say it to you this way, it'll reach you more than it would her. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to meet them where they are, and bring it out. But the method might change from person to person. So you have to know people, for one. You have to know people. You can't be a coach if you don't know people. That's just out the door. Because you can have all the X's and O's, but if they don't buy into you, they don't relate to you, they don't understand you, it's a wrap.
Right.
Yeah. So first of all, you have to understand people. If it's coaching boys, coaching girls, you have to know how they are and how you can impact, how you can react to them. And then secondly, I look at skill sets. I'm a big skill set person, and that's what it means, watching what they do on the court. And I watch you, and then I can tell you, I'm gonna help you get better at that. I'm gonna help you get better with shooting. I'm gonna help you get better at it, because if you can enhance what they already have, it's just pulling them up to the next level.
Right.
And then after that, individually, you bring it to a team, and you just bring it all together. Now, it's not easy, and I won't say every time I do something it works. It's trial and error, and then once you find that niche and it works, you ride it to the sunset.
There you go. Look, as somebody who's is overall sports fan, I've watched the WNBA since the first season.
Right.
I watched the WNBA draft. I actually like women's college basketball a bit better than men's college basketball, the competitiveness, right?
Okay.
So I'm watching that draft. I'm watching that this year's WNBA draft, and I see her get drafted. I'm excited too. I feel you, because I'm excited. I'm excited for her. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for FAMU High. I'm just excited for everybody. And then she made the all rookie team.
Yeah.
Right.
She did.
She made I got caught a couple of her games. Her defense was on a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah.
I love her aggressiveness. She's like that player who's gonna get after you. She's the one. If she's on your team, you love her. If she's not on your team, you hate her.
Hate her. Yeah.
But it's like I'm sitting there watching, and I'm smiling from ear to ear, because I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking about her, and I'm just thinking about the overall how everything came together for all of you. Like, your success is continuing, her individual success is continuing, and the other young ladies who are coming out of your program, they're successful as well. Like, you helping so many young ladies get to college and being able to realize dreams that they may not have thought could come true. So that's a kudos to you.
And I will add that every year since I've coached, we've had at least one player, sometimes two, sign a basketball scholarship. So, you know, that's we're really proud about that. And then the team GPAs, I think from an average, it ranged from like the lowest will go like 2.8 and the highest will go almost to a 4. So, you know, they're doing it in the classroom as well. They know, like, you know, you got to get in the classroom as well.
Right. Look, good coaching gets you from good to great. Great coaching take you from great to outstanding or otherworldly.
All right.
So,
Yes.
so you won the state three years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You have these young girls who expect to win. They expect to be good at what they do. With the theme of what we have here, our platform here, and that question, how are you preparing your girls to see themselves as more than athletes?
Like, it goes back to what I said earlier about teaching the whole person. Like, I mean, you can't just say, like, for instance, all of the girls that I've coached, believe it or not, all of them does not want to play basketball in college, and that's I mean, that's fine.
Right.
Everybody's not that player, you know what I'm saying? So you have some that have extracurricular activities outside of basketball, and when they have them, I try to support them because you want to show that I'm not just here for what you can do for me. I'm here because I want you to be all that you can be. And if that means another sport or another activity, I'm all in with you. So you just have to include that. You have to show that you're caring about the entire person and not just the athlete, because it goes back to what I said. If they have the whole person in them, then whatever comes what may, they'll be fine. Right. Because they know that, okay, on to the next. But if they just have their eggs in one basket and that doesn't work, you better watch out, because there's going to be some problems there.
Okay.
Nice. I mean, I think that's definitely a skill. That's something that out of coaching, people don't usually think about either. Like the coach taking more than just the fact that a person can play well. Into, you know, their idealism or their practice or their method of, you know, teaching and instilling in them. So I think that's you already going beyond even just the coaching aspect, right? Like now you're a teacher, you're a mentor, you're whatever else. Those other roles that you're playing that's beyond coaching, which is necessary, especially if a lot of times we the reality is a lot of us will not make it as an athlete the full, you know, whatever our journey, whatever we foresee. Some of us will, which is very fortunate, but you have to make sure you tap into those other parts of your personality to make sure you are exploring at least, right?
Most definitely.
It's great to be able to get that on the court and off the court from your coach. Like that's amazing.
Right. So now, with that being said, I don't think I ever asked you this question before, but when you were coming up, or even now, what were your interests outside of basketball? Like when you were off the court, when you got away, what were you doing? And what things are you interested in? I know you like music. I know you like music, but
yeah, that's how you know that. But yeah, I like music. But oh my God, you know what? I didn't do too much outside of basketball. I didn't. I ate, slept, and breathed it. I mean, I was the regular kid. Like, you know, you would go out to parties and hang out with your friends and stuff. But for the most part, like, it was just basketball. And what's so crazy, when I got to college, I pledged. And when people was like, you pledging? And it was just because I had to ask my coach. When I asked her, I was like, the season over. Can I pledge? Because, you know, you have to ask her because she's paying your bills.
Right.
And so I asked her, and she was like, as long as it doesn't interfere with basketball, you're fine. And so when she said it, I was like, okay, let me try it. The deltas at the time was just on point. Like, I felt a connection there, and I did it. And in college, it was more than just basketball. You know, I was with my sorors. I enjoyed the college experience. And in high school, I mean, I had a regular life, but it was still centered around basketball.
Right.
Yeah. So I do recommend. And then I didn't play another sport. Like some of my players, they play volleyball, flag football. I just played basketball.
We're not going to skip around this music thing.
Oh no.
What exactly do you do musically?
Oh, I love music. I mean, mostly early 90s R&B, that
Nice.
type of
Oh yeah.
vibe. But I
Oh
love
yeah.
all types of music.
So you
Yeah.
sing or play anything or just listening and vibe?
Just listening and just play it. I don't sing now, and
Oh,
I don't
you
produce
know,
anything, but
my next
I just love music.
nice.
Right. Right. Now that's real cool. I Now I know about the music at Facebook because you
Okay.
know how you posting your stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I like that song too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. See, I thought I was the
yeah.
only one. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
nah, nah. See, because I like the early night. I've been bumping Bobby Brown all day. So
Yeah. And it's so crazy. I know we're talking about sports, but it's so crazy. Like most of all this music now is old beats.
Oh yeah.
Like
yes,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
90s
yeah,
beats.
yeah. But that goes into like your interest outside of just basketball. Now, what's interesting is your mindset was basketball. You get to college and you pledge Delta.
Right.
Did you plan on doing that, or did somebody introduce you to it when you got to college?
It was just seeing the Deltas on it. At the time, it was a yard, in Birmingham, they called it a yard. It was just seeing them. And when I first got to college, I wasn't even thinking about pledging. It was just making sure I kept my scholarship, honestly.
Right.
And I just was, how you would have the parties at the school, and you was just seeing them around.
Yeah.
And most of my friends in high school, they did the thing. It was called Delta Teen at the time, where you was just kind of like
Right.
a little sister
Right.
to the Deltas. I didn't even do that. Like
Right.
that wasn't even my interest in high school. So to do that in college, I was like, oh wow, But it was a sisterhood that we had, and to this day, I still talk to some of my sorors from Birmingham.
Right.
But it was, and you know what? Honestly, you all, I think it was because also it wasn't basketball. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was just something different from basketball.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
Did joining an organization allow you to explore outside of basketball as well?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what she said.
Say it again.
Did I freeze again?
No, I think I just missed what you said.
Oh, sorry, my facial expression.
It's all good.
Oh yeah.
I said, so did joining an organization allow you to explore outside of being a basketball player as well? And in what ways?
Well, shoot, I got on a step team. Who would go figure that?
Okay.
I was on a step team. I did a lot of community service. I held a position in the sorority. And it was just, like I said, a sisterhood. We would go road trips and stuff. And like I just said, it was just something different from what I had been doing my whole entire life.
Right.
And the fact that I was able to do that and still play was like ice on the cake. Now, she would have told me, oh, no, you can't do it. Then I just couldn't do it. But the fact that she allowed me to do that, it was like, oh, I mean, a whole side of me came out that I didn't know I had. I thought I was just an athlete.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so cool though. Learning that's so cool because it's like the perception is laid back, chilling, just you laid back and chill. But then you say you're on the step team, so
yeah,
so
I was on the step team.
That's so cool. So
yeah.
How
There's
did
videos out there too on YouTube?
Oh, I got to find them. I got to find
Don't
them.
do that. Don't waste your time. Don't even do that.
Insert clip here.
Right.
Don't bother.
How did joining, becoming a Delta, getting on the step team, coming out of your shell, how did that outside of basketball help you as far as confidence wise on the court? How did that help boost your confidence?
It was kind of just two different streams, honestly. I mean, for my teammates, I had some teammates to pledge after I did. So, I mean, the sisterhood on that part, but it wasn't okay. I will say this: when I did pledge, then the following basketball season, my sorors came deep. Like, they were there to support and stuff, and to see them there, like, okay, let me just do what I got to do. My girls still watching, So I would say that part, the support factor of it, And then I was from Tallahassee, you know, coming to Birmingham. So that just the sisterhood and that I was not from the area. So they kind of welcomed me and just made me feel like I was at home. Okay. But more so for the skill part of basketball, nah, it was just kind of two different things.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So that's actually it's very interesting to me, your whole narrative, right? Because I usually hear I played this sport and then I went to this direction, but you did other things while playing the sport, and then you still was like, okay, well, now that I'm done, let me do this too.
Yeah.
Let me do everything else. So what were your, I guess I kind of just want to know what was in your head along the way as you were exploring, you know, when you joined Delta and when now you're doing, and I'm just assuming, but you were probably doing more outreach activities within the community as, you know, a Delta versus just a basketball player. So, you know, what were some of those thoughts that were in your head? Because it's like development, essentially, you developing.
Well, it was an outlet. I mean, basketball in college is intense, you know, and I think it probably like bigger schools, you probably weren't able to do that. They probably won't allow you to do that because I juggled a lot, and I did cross country when I was in college. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a lot. And I think I'm trying to remember, the basketball went from like November to probably like February. So from like March to maybe we got a school in June, May. So like March to May, I was a Delta. You know, I was just out. So not in a bad, you know what I mean?
I get you.
Okay. I didn't want to say it like that, but just enjoying my sorors and stuff, you know.
Right.
And then summertime came, back to workouts of basketball. And then fall, it was back to cross country for basketball. So I was able to juggle a lot, you know, because I knew one thing, I couldn't let the scholarship go. So right. So I mean, I was able to do it by the grace of God. And then, like I said, surrounding yourself with good people. My sorors knew, they just called me E. E got basketball practice. E got to go work out. Like they knew, they weren't like, come on, go with me. Like they knew, like, okay, it's time for her to get back to work. So like I said, surround yourself with good people.
Right.
That's what I was that's a good point that you bring up is, you know, people understanding your timing, right? Like all the time responsibilities and stuff that you have going on, the things that you're juggling. So for your, you know, your sorority sisters to be able to say, okay, look, she's at practice right now. We know we're not going to be there until March to May or whatever, you know. It's for them to understand it. That's huge. But what about the basketball team, like the players on your team? Did they understand the same thing? And then when you left the sport altogether, I'm pretty sure you had like long-lasting relationships with individuals. How did they feel when you were saying you were coaching versus, you know, trying to pursue it further on or so on?
They enjoyed it because even now my teammate and my soror from my house, she came to a couple of my games. She lives in Jacksonville. So she came to the game to support her, and she even came to the state finals, I think. I don't know. But the fact that they're embracing it, like, you know, I think I have another teammate that might be coaching now. I'm not sure. So they love it. And they understand too, like how much it takes out of you.
Right.
So I mean, I'm telling you all, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And I think the fact that they see that I'm still in it they're proud of that.
Right. So as a coach now, because the season is going on now, correct?
Right.
So how, I know we have to get to this. How are you all managing through this COVID? Because this brand new to all of us. It just, you scared to breathe outside your house.
Right.
And so how were you all able to function? How were you able to still bring the same type of excellence to the court during this pandemic?
It's very, very hard. I mean, I think talking to my assistant coach, and it's like you start and you stop. You start and you stop. Like we started regular, you know, time. Then we had 2 weeks out where it was a case at our school where you couldn't even come to the gym. You couldn't even meet up and practice. So and basketball time, 2 weeks is like 2 months.
Right.
Yeah, like it's bad. And then we came back, we played a couple games, then we were out again. Like even now we're out again because of course the holidays, but the gym was closed down because they were, I guess, cleaning it and sanitizing it. So I haven't seen my girls physically since the 18th.
Wow.
So I mean, I'm encouraging them to, hey, go run and go walk and go to a park. But with kids, like
Yeah.
you already know how that can be. So come next week, we go back, like it's almost gonna be like we're starting back over a little bit. So that's the only thing I would say that's kind of been a struggle, but I'm not surprised of it. It's just like, hey, you just gotta roll with the punches.
Right. Right. So how are you able to escape or do your normal routine as far as outside of basketball that you would do to keep yourself grounded or to center yourself or to, just relax? How has COVID affected your routine that you would do for yourself?
My routine has not changed. I still get my monthly massages.
Okay.
Still do I'm a movie buff too, so I love movies.
Okay.
I still do my Netflix, my movies on TV. I mean, my life has not changed, honestly. I mean, I can't travel as much as I would like to, but other than that, I mean, my life hasn't changed that much.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that is nice to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she up there.
Look,
Nice.
Changing. Dramatically, but that's good though. And I mean, I completely get how you're still trying with your your team and everything, but I get it, because even telling an adult to do things, it could be difficult, right? So
yes, ma'am. I mean, I've been teaching going on 12 years. I'm not oblivious to the fact that they're not going to do everything I told them to do.
Right.
So when we get back come Monday, I already know it's some stuff I'm going to have to do with them.
You got to get them on Zoom, like the teachers in the schools, like have the Zoom set up on the phone right outside the hoop.
We did. When we were out one time, we did Zoom sessions and stuff. But I was like, I know some of them are traveling and stuff, so you know how that can be. But don't worry, I'll get it back on Monday.
Yeah. But
enjoy your time now.
Right.
I do get what you're saying though about that timing and that chemistry.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, it's like on off. And then my girls, I think maybe one of the girls attend the school. The rest of them are home. So doing virtual. So I'm not seeing them throughout the day. They're not in classes physically together. So that's another thing as well. So.
Right. Yeah, chemistry is huge in sports.
Yep.
I definitely get you. So we learned a lot about you. I learned some new things, and I'm like, I should have asked these questions before, but that's a good pairing up.
No, I'm enjoying this. I'm telling you, I like interviews. I like dialogue.
Yeah. Now, and I will say this: from the first time we interviewed you to now, like you've definitely come out of your shell a lot more. Straight up, because the being laid back and things. But now you're like, I'm happy to see like how comfortable you are in this space of talking and interviewing and things. So
it's called growth, Joe.
There it is. You all know it. You know it. That's why you incredible, because you just
it's called growth in life.
Right. Being able to see you grow in so many different realms. Like I say, I'm just happy to be a witness on your journey. And I just my seatbelt is buckled.
Okay.
I'm gonna continue this ride.
Hey, let's take off.
I'm gonna continue this ride. So,
and again, I mean, like it goes back to you being the first, I think. Well, I don't remember, but I know you were one of the first interviews I did. So you're gonna be forever like my guy. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely appreciate it. No, right?
yeah. Forever indebted.
It's definitely been a pleasure. So if people want to get in contact with you, they want to learn more about you as a coach, you as a person, they want to learn more about your team. What's the best way for people to get in contact with you and to learn more about your team or follow your team?
My email, Twitter, Facebook. My email is my name, Ericka, ERICKA Cromartie, CROMARTIE @famu.edu. And then my Facebook page is my name. And I'm kind of lenient who I accept now. If it's bogus,
right? I get you.
But it's just like I have a lot of college coaches on there because that's the level I want to get to. So you gotta, hey, speak it, meet them where they are.
Right.
A lot of college coaches, stuff like that. So they're, I'll accept some people, because you learn from different people. You know what I'm saying? I tell my girls, you learn what to do, you learn what not to do. Right. So you can learn from anybody. So there, my Twitter account is, what is my Twitter account? Coach Crow at Family DRS. Yeah. Okay. And then my Instagram is Miss E_Cromartie 11.
Nice.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Y'all heard it. Look, y'all just got privy to some gems and some information that you might not have known. And make sure you write this stuff down. And because the whole purpose of this series is to be able to showcase people who were great athletes but are great human beings overall, and the greatness is spilling into the community and affecting others' lives, as you can see. So another installment in More Than an Athlete. She's Ericka Cromartie.
Yes. But even beyond writing down your own personal notes, share these videos because we want to break some cycles ultimately. Yes. Let's teach the ones that are coming up, the ones that are considering to play for high school and maybe going into college and don't understand that you can be more than an athlete. These are gems that will help those particular individuals too. So share.
Yep. That's all it's about. Helping reach it back for somebody else behind you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about.
So we'll see y'all on the flip side. She's Ericka Cromartie.
Thank you again. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. I'm Joseph Ward. See y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Cool.